Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I am your host, our Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog. So, and you have to forgive the virtual background; it's going a little crazy today. But my gaming group was having a discussion, to some extent, on via text messages. That's how we communicate during the week, which is why I silenced my text messages on my phone, or else I'd never get peace. But the question became, at what point are you running with too many rules? And what I mean by that is, say you're running 5e, right? New rules come out, Tasha's comes out, there's a new supplement, there's a new update, right? D&D Beyond is updated, and some rule, orcs are no longer evil, right? We've changed the lore, whatever. At what point is it too much? At what point is it unwieldy? What point do you say no more, no mas? Now, I remember running AD&D Second Edition back in the 80s, and mostly I ran it at my house. Well, there's a reason why I ran it at my house. Was I was run it with all the fucking rules. So, uh, Player's Handbook, DM's Guide, that monstrous compendium with the removable pages, numerous player handbooks. Oh no, new monster book came out, and that's going to supersede the monsters compendium. So now you got to use that. At what point do you have to? At what point do you put a limit? Now I understand if you are running organized play. Organized play, you got to run with the rules that are set by organized play. If organized play says you use all the rules up to including this release, guess what? That's what you signed up for. But when you're playing in your own campaign, your home campaign, a lot of times the additional rules and some groups, it's like, oh well, yeah, this third party Pathfinder stuff, this is kind of cool. And there's the Pathfinder, I don't know, Game Master Volume 7. I don't remember what they had a lot. Am I adding this and am I adding that? And does this rule conflict with what? There comes a point. If you can't take your rule set that you need to run to whatever location you're going to run at, it's probably too many rules. But by that same token, at what point do you have to inform your players about what rules aren't being used? If the common knowledge is, oh, everybody is using this rule, and you don't use that, like I don't recognize that book that came out, you have to let your players know ahead of time. Just like with house rules, right? House rules, you're changing stuff up from the default that the players are used to from the books that they own and their own experience, and you're saying, oh no, well, my AD&D campaign doesn't have exceptional strength. What? I don't do exceptional strength, but I give wizards they get additional spells just like clerics do. Are these house rules unbalancing? I don't know. But there's certainly things that players need to know at the start of the campaign, because now it becomes, oh, well, now intelligence is much more important for my magic user, especially if campaigns tend to last 7 to 9 levels. So you're not too worried about not having access to 7th, 8th, 9th level spells, but having bonus spells would be huge. So you have to inform your players, you have to inform your group about the rules that are literally in play and the rules that are out of play. This applies, this doesn't. This is good, this isn't. So, case in point, Joe the lawyer. Joe and I, we game every Monday in our group, and I haven't played in Joe's 5e game, but I've heard stories. And Joe runs a heavily house ruled, dare I say, modified 5e game, where to a large extent it is 5e in name only, but it certainly runs off the 5e chassis. When a player comes into his game and they're expecting 5e by the book, they're going to be shocked. which is why he has a house rule document, and you get a copy of the house rule document. So you're not like uh, making decisions that are uninformed. You have to have informed PCs. And if you change something like maybe you're changing falling damage, and it's going to be much more lethal, right? Or maybe your poison doesn't kill, but it causes stat damage. These are things your players you should know. It should be explained. It shouldn't be a secret that you toss on people. But I learned from my own experience running 2E, running with all those goddamn fucking splat books. There was, I found this out later, uh, pretty much no play testing. Concepts sounded good. They looked good on paper. Certainly players enjoyed it. Spell singers. Don't ever mention that to me if I'm in toxins. You're probably going to get punched. But spell singers, or sorry, blade singers. See, I'm not in tox. But blade singers were hugely unbalanced. Spell singer. I was thinking of that Dean Foster series. Blade singers were like uber characters, and literally broke a campaign that I was running. And I believed at the time, foolishly in retrospect, that you ran with all the official rules. But honestly, anything beyond those initial core books is all optional. And what's in those core books is optional because in the end, you, the GM, the game master, the dungeon master, the referee, whatever title you wish to go by, you are the final arbiter. So maybe judge, right? You are the one that will decide what rules are in play, what rules are out of play. But just like in the real world, your players, your people need to know what those rules are, what the law is, so they can be properly prepared and understand what they're operating under. So if you're going to pull rules out that are standard, you gotta let them know. If you're adding rules in that aren't standard, you have to let them know. If you have books that you say, oh no, they don't apply, that's fine. So long as your group, your players know. So, other than that, we are still in the midst of the world of the pandemic. What does that mean? It means use your fucking common sense. Really. I'm not your father. I'm not going to parent you. I'm not going to badger you. I'm not going to say, get your shots. Um, Listen, you know your risk factors. You know where you are. You know where your community is. Make your decisions accordingly. Also, I will include a link as a pinned comment. There is a D&D sale going on at drive-through. Prices on thousands of PDF releases, 20 to 40% off. Some titles that should be on sale aren't. I don't know why. Look at the item. You look at the description for Sunken Lands, for example. A game that I plan on running. Uh, really great for running things on short notice. Swords and Sorcery. It says it should be 20 to 40% off in the description of the product, and it's not. I already own it, and I already got copies coming from my old gaming group. But just to be a heads up, but there's literally thousands of items that are on sale. If you purchase through the link that I'm going to pin, some coinage goes towards supporting the tavern. We do giveaways. That's where this money comes from. It comes from you. All right, folks. On that note, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice. Roll them well. And God willing, I'll be back again tomorrow. Glenn Hellstrom and I. And then Friday, that's 8 o'clock. Friday live stream at 8. Saturday, Gamers Health live stream at 8 o'clock. We will have some special guests. Good times will be had by all. Join us. Live streams are better because of you. Seriously. All right, folks. On that note,